Our fifth contestant, 220, America minus the dream.
I hate math. Oh, if you're like me and math doesn't come easy to you, then you completely understand my struggle. You know, I actually used to be pretty good at math. They used to call me the mathematician of the class, a mathematical genius. But then the first grade was over. As kids, we often question how the difficult things we learn in math will ever really benefit us in the future. Well, when I learned the transitive property of equality theorem, all my questions about the purpose of math in my life were answered. This theorem states, if A equals B and B equals C, then A equals C also. Finally, something simple enough in math that I could actually understand it. Something so simple for us to understand in math, but something so difficult for us to understand in life. Equality. We spend so much time adding up the differences between each other that we have no time nor care to see the overwhelming similarities. Most frighteningly, I'm afraid that our focus on our differences is causing a lack of growth, a lack of betterment, and is slowly eroding the American dream. James Adams, in his book, The Epic of America, coins the term the American dream, defining it as that dream of a land in which life should be better and richer and fuller for every man, with opportunity for each according to his ability or achievement. In other words, that dream of equality. As a nation, we face numerous challenges. And the only way we can meet these challenges, the only way we can embrace that dream of equality, and the only way to overcome the problems that threaten to tear us apart is by coming together, all differences aside. So first, let's open our math books and simplify as we examine the variables of racial and gender inequalities. Then, let's say after school for some tutoring, so we can analyze the effects that these inequalities have on our society. Then finally, let's skip to the back of the book for some answers. I've learned the majority of the math I know from my twin, Beyonce. Hashtag surfboard. Beyonce states in her song, 1+1, I don't know much about algebra, but I know 1 + 1 = 2. Yes. Thank you, Beyonce. Racial and gender inequalities equal two problems that have been plaguing our society before we were ever born. We have come so far. And I'm so proud and so thankful of where we are today. But we're not all the way there yet. From slavery to the Civil War, from the Gina 6 to Trayvon Martin, we have constantly differentiated ourselves by the color of our skin. We forget people as people, but instead recognize them as black, as white, as Mexican, or as multiracial. We allow the melanin in our skin to create melancholy misfortunes in our relationships. But inequality doesn't stop there. We also separate ourselves at the non-algebraic X and Y chromosome levels. Now, while I don't share Beyonce's mathematic prowess, if she's the smart one, I'm the pretty one. And following her truly mind-blowing lyrics, if 1 + 1 = 2, then 1 - 1 must equal 0. In a state university article entitled Individual Differences, Gender Equity in Schooling, numerous college professors state, an improvement for one gender should not imply a disadvantage for the other. Or as Abraham Lincoln said, you cannot strengthen the weak by weakening the strong. If we allow our differences to separate us, it will undoubtedly hinder us. Our arguments, our indecisiveness, and our stubbornness grows, while our opportunities, our compromises, and our harmonious existence stand still. And we are living in America minus the dream. In our politics and in our daily lives, we can feel the divide, but some more than others. One of those people is a woman named Geraldine Owasum, my mother. My mother came to America from Cameroon, Africa, at the young age of 21. After completing all of her schooling in Africa, including college, she still yearned for more. So she decided that she wanted to be a pharmacist. For 6 years, my mother was a college student with 2 kids and no real sense of stability. I remember many nights when her diligent studying would sometimes turn to exhausted crying. But it was all for her American dream. And when she graduated from her university and began working as a pharmacist, she said it to be one of the biggest accomplishments of her life. That she greeted her customers with a smile and the desire to help. But on some days, with some people, she would receive instant negativity in return. Comments like, "You're black, great. Is there a man working I can talk to? I don't want the colored girl to help me." Rang in her ear. So her diligent studying turned to relentless working, and her exhausted cries turned to overwhelming sobs. She loves her job and she works hard till this day, but it's not easy. It's not easy when someone sees your skin color and labels you incompetent, when they acknowledge your gender and label you incapable, when they see, hear, feel something about you that's not like them and label you irrelevant. She believes in her American dream, but her dream has been tainted. The judging nature of some of her customers and their unwillingness to even try and work with her is like a subtraction of hope. So, how do we add equality and understanding back into the equation to replenish the American dream? Well, I never thought I'd be saying this, but we have got to learn to embrace our mathematical side. Researchers who have studied mathematics through an educational think tank called Achieve reject the notion that some students can do math and others cannot. Math is universal. So let's have a little math lesson. First, we must make like long division and carry. You see, in long division, when one number does not divide perfectly into another number, that does not mean that the problem is incapable of being solved. You simply take the remainder, or what's left over, and you carry it to the top. We, just like numbers, don't always fit perfectly with each other, but we still have to help each other, and we still have to carry each other to the top. In American journalist Sam Smith's book, How to Get Along with Other Americans Living Next to 290 Million People Who Aren't Quite Like You, there are ways to accomplish this, such as teaching the variety of the world as something to explore and enjoy, and not as a problem or an issue. Finding something in common that's more important than what's not, and realizing that we are all a part of something else. And we don't want a remainder of anyone left behind. A second, as our math teachers would say, remember your formulas. The transitive property of equality theorem states, if A equals B and B also equals C, then A equals C also. So bear with me here, but if blacks equal people and people also equal whites, then black equals white also. And if women equal people and people also equal men, then women equal men also. And if Beyonce equal people and people also equal me, then me equals Beyonce. Ha! Math simplifies all the complexities of our differences. Math states that no matter our race, no matter our gender, no matter our disability, our sexuality, our religious beliefs, our political views, our socioeconomic status, no matter what, we are all people. We are all human beings. And therefore, we are all equal. If we can learn to embrace our mathematical side, we can replenish the American dream. No longer will people like my hardworking mother feel subtractions of hope, but they will begin to feel additions of love and of understanding. Martin Luther King once said, "Something must happen so as to touch the hearts and souls of men, that they will come together. And not because the law says it, but because it is natural and right." I know working with and being surrounded by people who aren't exactly like you can be a challenge. But over my years of extreme suffering due to math, I've learned that the challenging problems are the most rewarding to solve. We can create a nation where our differences don't disrupt our problem solving, and a world ready to work together towards a common denominator. Well, just remember, 5 plus 5 equals 10, but so does 6 plus 4.